So this is our third session of behind the scenes of course creation. And what we are going to be looking into today is how you start to create and start to record your videos. So we're going through tips on how to record your videos, but this is behind the scenes. So we are going into a demonstration of what I do. So I'm going to be looking into how I set up to record my videos, how I plan to record my videos. I'm not actually going to record a video because I don't know if my computer can handle that, of me sharing, recording, and then recording a video as well. So I wanted to rather give you tips on what I use to be able to record. And then I'm going to give you some tips on editing. So we're going through 4 phases: setup, plan, how to record, and then how to edit your video. To show you how I set up, you may notice that right now my video is very different to what it normally is. And that's because I'm on my phone. So I am currently on my phone on Zoom and on my computer on Zoom, which is why you see 2 faces. And I am going to show you what I do to set up before each of my Zoom sessions. Now, unfortunately, I have a broken tripod. I have 2 tripods. One of them is broken. So I'm going to use this little car holder for my phone, and I'm going to put that onto my computer. And then I'm going to put this in. Okay, got it. So my phone now is resting on top of my computer, which I hope would be stable for the next couple of minutes. What I've got here, so if you know me, if we've spoken before, you know that I have, that I live in Santiago in Chile, but I also live in the country. So the reason I tell you this is that all of my recording is in this bag here. All of the things that I use to be able to record go in this bag. So this is like a little show and tell. I'm not sure if you've seen the show called Ready, Steady, Cook in Australia, but they have a bag, a grocery bag full of groceries, and then they take them out one by one. So what I wanted to first set up, I'm going to first set up my ring light. Now, with my ring light, that's what goes on my large tripod, which is broken. I have to go near them. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to put that on this tripod. Now this tripod is what I brought for my DSLR. I'm not using my DSLR today to record a video. I'm going to use a webcam. But this is a great little travel tripod. I don't even remember what it's called. I bought it so many years ago. But I'm going to set this up with my ring light. And you'll start to see the purpose of this session is to, one, show you what I have, but also you can start to see the difference of what my video looks like when I'm at the moment. Right now, I'm only recording on my cell phone. My mobile that I have is a Xiaomi Poco, it's called a Xiaomi Poco Z3. So it's not an iPhone. It's not a Samsung. So the quality isn't that great. Right, so I have my little tripod that I'm going to connect here, and then plug this in to the back of my television. So something that I didn't explain is that I've got 2 screens in front of me right now. I have my laptop that is boosted on top of a little picnic table that you can buy from a cheap store here. And I have my secondary screen, which is just a television. And I'm going, because I only have 2 USBs in my laptop, I'm going to put this in the back of my television. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so that's in the back of my television. What I like about this is that I can control how it looks. Now I know that my ring light has a handle to hold my phone, but I wanted to show you how I set my ring light. So I'm trying to set it up, but I use everything to record my videos. So this is why it's just a bit odd at the moment. So now that I have my ring light, I can turn that on, and I like to have it on the second one and not so bright. So what you'll notice now is that all of a sudden, this is creating half my face is lit up, and you can see the shadow behind me. So this is where I use a lamp. Now this is just a desk lamp that I like because it has 1, 2, 3 hinges. So I can set it up. We'll see shortly how I set it up. Right. I set it up to be pointing upwards like this. I put it on the floor behind me. So now I'll just plug that in. Sorry that you're getting a view of the top of my head. Right. So now, when I start to set it up and I can move it to how I want it to be, what I get is a backlight, right? So a backlight, but it's also stopping my face from having this half shadow, and it's stopping my body from shadowing on the back, right? So now I've got this front light on me and I have my back light. So the next thing is my webcam. I have a little 4D webcam, and this is what I usually record on. So I'm going to switch over to this shortly. Right. I should have unraveled everything. So just a little webcam here, HD webcam. I put that, what I like to do is I always put this on top of my actual video. So I always put this on top of my actual webcams where on my computer. Why? Because 2 reasons. One is I'm used to looking directly into the webcam on my computer, so that makes it really useful for me to, I'm so used to that from teaching online for so many years. So I put it in front of the webcam, so I'm looking at the same screen. And secondly, I put it in front of the webcam because I have so many options when I'm going live of what videos I would like to use that I don't accidentally choose the wrong one because there is only one option because I'm covering the other one's blank. Okay, the final thing that I use is a microphone. I'm not using the microphone right now. I'm not using anything besides my phone. So we're going to switch over to my computer where I'm going to plug my microphone in. So I am going to stop this and I'm going to move over to my computer. And when I move over to my computer, you're going to see what my setup looks like. Okay, so I am now over here where I have my camera set up, I have my microphone set up, and I have my 2 lights behind me. So I just want to make sure that I'm all set up and everyone can hear me fine. Okay, so I am all set up now. If you have any questions at all that you would like me to cover off in regards to what I've just displayed, let me know. Remember, I was using my cellular, I was using my phone to record all of that. And then I set everything up little by little to show you the differences between what I was recording and now what I am recording. So I just have to set this up a little bit better. Okay. So just to recap, I'm using a ring light to my left. I'm using a light behind me to my right so that they cross over. I'm using a Boya microphone that I would then show you shortly what else I do use in that. And I'm using a HD webcam. Usually I have two tripods set up, one for my light, one for my microphone, and one for my camera. But I'm only using my webcam at the moment. Okay, so now what I would like to discuss is, now that we know what I set up, what I would like to go into is planning for your videos. And I would love to share my screen with you, because what I have here is my storyboard. And this is a storyboard that I have created for today, for this specific video that I'm creating. So what we go into in a storyboard is covering what are the objectives, what are the reasons for this particular video? What are you going to help people to achieve? And we've gone through these storyboards before recently in the behind the scenes of course creation. I've covered this off of how I create a storyboard for our videos. So I'm not going to go deep into this. You can have a look at the previous videos in the course creation in the Facebook page, where you can go through the behind the scenes. Also, I have a storyboard video on my YouTube if you would like to have a look at that. But the two main things that I'm answering here when I'm creating a storyboard, the reason why I create it is to make sure that I stay on track on my videos, and also to make sure that in the grand scheme of things, the whole video helps and support students to be able to reach the outcomes. So here in the top, I'm just mapping back to the objectives. I'm mapping back to the outcomes, making sure that the video fits well within my course. And then I always ask myself these two questions to make sure that I'm aligning everything together. So that is, what information does the student need to know to be able to reach this objective? And what skills does the student need to practice to reach these objectives? Right? I'm asking myself these two questions that you can see, because what that's helping me do is fill out my plan. It's helping me, if I scroll back up, what information does the student need to know is helping me say, well, what am I going to demonstrate? And then the skills the student needs to practice is ensuring that I'm putting that opportunity for practice in this storyboard. So this storyboard is for today. The first section was a setup where I basically said, I'm going to go and have my face on my phone with my computer turned off, and I am going to literally unpack everything from my bag and set it up. I wanted to make sure that I described that I only have one tripod today and I don't have my DSLR. Okay. Also, now what we're moving into is the plan, which I've just discussed, is that this is my storyboard. I've told you why it's important to have a storyboard, and I've made it clear what to include in the storyboard and to answer the two questions above. So if you would like access to this storyboard, let me know and I'll be happy to send you across a example storyboard where it's ready for you to fill in. Okay, not with my example, but a template one for you. So what this is helping me do is stay on track and make sure I'm only giving you the information that you need to succeed to achieve the objectives of this video. So I'm just going to stop my screen share. Now, at this point is when we're ready to start recording. Now, I'm not going to record a video here in our time together, but I wanted to give you some tips on how I record. First of all, I use either Loom or OBS, which is a platform to stream, and you can also record in. I've also used Zoom to record my videos, but I don't like the output of Zoom too much, especially when I'm sharing my screen. So I do prefer Loom. Now those are the platforms that I use to record. You've seen what I set up to be able to record. So you've seen the technology that I use to set up, and the software, like I said, is Loom. But I also use a platform called Krisp, and this platform I'm currently using now, which you would see in the difference in the quality of my voice and the audio when I've moved from my phone to my computer, for two reasons. One, I plugged in my microphone, and second, I'm using an application, Krisp, that makes my voice clearer and blocks out background noises, or attempts to. So that is what I use, those things that are around me, and also what I have on my computer, right, as well as my storyboard. Now, when I'm recording, nothing's going to be perfect. I don't work off a script. I work off my storyboard. And sometimes I just don't like what I've said, or I don't like the way it's come out. So I start again, and I continuously record the whole thing. I might not start from the very beginning. I just start from the smallest section, which is why I like to have little sequences in my storyboard so that I'm ensuring that if I want to start again, I know exactly where to start from. Now, what I do is I use hand signals like this, for example, to tell myself that I'm about to start again. So I use a hand signal to tell myself I'm about to start again. What I've also used is that I clap, not now, but I do clap twice. What this helps me to do is later on in my editing, the hand signal that you would see in the videos, which also is the clapping, so actually clap to in the video, helps me to be able to see at points where I want to cut. Okay, so I'm telling myself, cut, delete everything, right? So then later on, I'm looking for that and I can speed up my editing by looking for those hand signals and just deleting that content between the hand signals, right? So that helps me to say I'm about to record, or let's refresh, let's cut and refresh again. So then it helps me in my editing phase. The clapping helps me when I detach the audio, I don't always do this, but when I do detach the audio from my video and I go into the editing phase and I would like to line it up, it's really useful at this point to be able to line up the audio and the video by the clap. So you need to see the clap and hear the clap. Now, the reasons when I do this is when I am recording so in OBS, when I am recording my video on my camera and I'm recording my voice on my computer. So what's happening is that my camera is picking up on my voice, but I'm not going to be using that audio. I'm actually recording on my camera through my microphone. And so the audio is not attached to the video. So I need to align them. So some useful tips that I have discussed when I'm recording the video: hand signals are very, very useful for the editing phase later on. And I've explained what I use to be able to record my video, both in regards to the actual technology I use, the actual microphones, cameras, lights. And I've also mentioned that I do use several platforms to be able to record it, both including a way to make my voice clearer and a way to record depending on what the point is. If I want to be able to share my screen, if it's just my voice, if it's just my head, sorry, if it's just my face, then that would really dictate what type of platform I'm going to use. Okay, so if there's any point at all that you do have any questions, let me know. I'm managing the chat on my secondary screen here, so do let me know if any questions arise. And remember, you can do this at any point in time. If you are watching the replay, let me know by writing in #replay and let me know if you have any questions, because I'm always more than happy to help you with them and to answer them for you. Okay, so finally, what I want to demonstrate, and I'm going to share my screen shortly, is how I go about editing an actual video. Now, I'm not going to spend the time editing a video in our live today because that can take some time. But again, I want to provide you with some tips on what I do. So I'm going to be providing or showing you just a few snippets of what I do. So at the moment, I'm opening up Shotcut in my screen. So I'll just share my screen now. Okay. So what you can see here is Shotcut. I hope that you can see Shotcut. I'm just going to stop my screen and just reshare that because it seems like it's not sharing my screen. Okay. Yep, it seems fine. Okay, this is Shotcut. Now, Shotcut, I've used Shotcut, I've used DaVinci Resolve, I've used, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I've used different ways that I can edit videos. Now, the most important thing that I've noticed is that I've created is this template. So it's called a video editing template. Now I'm going to open this, and this is a project that has these 4 lines in it. Now, what this is important of, not these 4 lines, these 4 tracks. I forgot the name for it. These 4 tracks. Now, what is important here is that what this includes is my introduction, It includes my audio. It includes different transitions. It includes text here as well. So it would include the format for text, which we can't see because I've got that hidden. It includes as well the closing out. So this helps me so much when it comes to editing because I've got this template here already. All I need to do is import my videos. So I have one video that I've already created a while ago. It's only 1 minute and 40 seconds. So I wanted to upload that today. This is not the start of my video. This is just in the middle. Right, so I'm going to drag this down and I pop this into a section here. Now I know this isn't the beginning, so I'm going to put it here, for example. Later on, I'll put the other video in there. Actually, it makes more sense if I'm just thinking I might put the first one in. This is why it's so useful to have a storyboard, because I added that I'll just do that one video, but then I realized that it actually makes more sense if I put them all in at the moment. Right? So I've uploaded them all here, that they should all be on the side here. And this is the first one here. I'm not going to be editing this one today, but I want to go right to the end here. And I want to add in this video, which is what we just looked at, so that I can attach it to the end here. Now, I don't want to play this video, okay, but I know that there's a point here that I redo and I restart. So at this point, I know I can cut and I can completely delete that section. So at this point here, if I come back over here, you can see that I have all of my text. So if we were to look at this, I'm going to play this without any audio. If I was to play this, you can see where my text overlaps, right? So rather than redesigning all of this, rather than having the transitions that the layout, when it pops down, kind of rolls down, then it dissolves, rather than going through and creating all of that, I just move and drag them. The same with these transitions, right? I have transitions of when I might cut a video. I then have transitions that has music and has this kind of swipe that happens. All of that is here already. That helps me just easily move it rather than creating that all over again. One thing that I have learned the hard way is to save everything that I do so that I don't lose anything later on. So just to recap some tips that I had in regards to editing your video is to, when you upload your video, right, make sure that you're uploading it into a template that you've created. So I've just realized as well that at this point is when I don't actually click the save button, I actually click the save as button. And I save this rather than the video editing template. This should be saved as, I don't remember what the name of this one was. I'm just going to call it YouTube video new, for example. Rather than this is saving, I'm not saving the actual video, I'm saving my editing. So I'm not exporting the video for YouTube, which is why it's in a different format. Okay. So what you would see, let me just delete these videos. What I have, remember, is my template. Is my template is blank here, where the template itself is just including little snippets, little things that I like to use throughout, so I can just easily move them. So I'm not making huge changes and not investing most of my time into redoing things that already exist. I'm just going to resave this. It's called video editing template to make sure that I have it saved. And I'm going to stop my screen share. There we go. I hope that that was useful for you today. I was moving around quite a bit on my screen and moving screens around, but what I wanted you to get out of this is understanding what things go into setting up for a video, what you then need to do to plan your video in regards to storyboarding, and remember, this is a little step within your design phase of your course. So remember that you have your course plan. There's a lot of things that come before you do your storyboard. So make sure that you do watch the earlier videos or go onto YouTube and watch little snippets of the videos of how to design your course. And then once you do have that plan, I provide some tips on how to record your video. So that is what technology I use, what software I use, and little hand gestures that I do to make the editing later on much easier. And then finally, I'd give you a brief demonstration of what I do in Shotcut to be able to edit my video without actually going in and editing a video. Like always, if you do have any questions, let me know and I'll be happy to help. Until next Wednesday, I hope you have a great week and happy course creating. Bye for now.